Hey movie fans, Demetri Panos here with another movie review for you. The movie, The War with Grandpa. It is directed by Tim Hill. It stars Robert De Niro, Uma Thurman, and Oaks Fegley. There are so many ways a movie like The War with Grandpa could have gone sideways. You don't have to look too far back in cinema history to see these horrible, prefabricated, formulaic movies that pit movie stars together with children in slapstick comedy. They focus more on the hijinks than they do on the heart. They're actually the type of movie that makes me angry. Thankfully and surprisingly, The War with Grandpa is not one of those movies. It's based off of the 1984 middle grade novel of the same name. The movie's premise is simple. Grandpa, Ed, played by Robert De Niro, is recently widowed. He's also injured. Begrudgingly, he accepts his daughter's offer, the daughter, played by Uma Thurman, to move in with her family. This causes a little displacement where his grandson Peter, who has the best room in the house, is forced to move into the attic. Well, hey, had Peter been a Brady Bunch fan, he may not have initially thought this was a bad move. But alas, Greg Brady was of no influence to Peter. And egged on by his friends, Peter declares war on Grandpa. He is to relinquish the room back to its rightful owner. Sounds silly? It is. But there is a charm in The War with Grandpa, and how it manages to balance the heart with the mayhem is what makes the movie a fun family diversion. That and the Alder Cocker cast, Robert De Niro as Ed the Grandpa, proves you can act with children. He looks like he's genuinely having a good time, and let's be honest, De Niro has been in a lot of movies, and some of them, just some of them, he appears as if he's just phoned in the performance and collected a paycheck. Thankfully, this isn't one of those movies. You believe, empathize, and sympathize with this character. There's never any doubt that Ed loves his grandkids and family. And as good as De Niro is with the kids, he's wicked fun to watch with his older castmates, which includes the great Christopher Walken. Hey, together again after 41 years where they last appeared together in The Deer Hunter. It's great to see Walken having a good time. They're also supported by Cheech, Marin, and the very beautiful Jane Seymour. They all share, and the key word here is share, a very entertaining chemistry. When the gang is together, you laugh and smile because deep down you believe they're laughing, smiling, and having a good time too. The kids are fun as well. They're not annoying. The worst, I guess I could say, is the older sister character may be superfluous. She just doesn't add much to the story. But Oaks Fegley, as Peter, never oversteps his bounds and chews up the scenery with a lot of whining. No, it's not that kid. You understand Peter's gripe, but you also realize that deep down, Peter loves his grandpa. He just thinks he loves his room a little more. And Laura Marano is Peter's younger sister, Mia, is just adorable. Mia doesn't want to see her brother at war with Grandpa. She doesn't want to take sides, unless there are some chocolate chip cookies involved. How can you not love a kid who wants a Christmas-themed birthday party in July? Face it, don't we all need a little bit of Christmas right now? And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Uma Thurman and Rob Riggle as the parents. Now, on paper, this may have seemed like an unlikely couple, but they delight in their roles, and collectively, they work really great together. Scenes between De Niro as Uma Thurman's father and Thurman as his daughter are very sweet. Now, director Tim Hill, he's familiar with family fare. He ties the War with Grandpa thing, he ties the whole thing together fairly neatly. This is his most accomplished film. He balances sentiment with slapstick, and you'd be hard-pressed not to chuckle or belly laugh at certain scenes where some other scenes you'll also feel, well, the needed warmth inside. A dodgeball game in a bouncy room between young and old is pretty funny. There are some good sight gags too, one involving shaving cream and a high-speed boat chase where each boat is gaining on slow. I said fairly because the movie does have some faults. The reasoning for why Peter has to move up to the attic is negated shortly after Grandpa moves in. And according to Ed and Peter's rules of engagement, the family shouldn't suffer collateral damage. Where would the fun in that be? So that doesn't last too long, and it's quickly and quietly overlooked. Also, the movie doesn't quite stick the ending. All the effort, heart, and growth Peter gains almost evaporates in the final shot of the film. It hints a needless narrative for a sequel. But the War with Grandpa is enjoyable enough that its flaws are not flagrant. I'm not going to go to war with this movie. I believe it to be A-OK and give it 3 fingers. Hey, thank you for watching. Be on the lookout for some more reviews in the coming days and weeks. Also, look for Retro Rewind, which I do on Sundays. This week, still in themed with Halloween horror movies. I appreciate your time. You can follow me on the Twitters and the Instagrams. It's the same handle, at Demetri Panos, at DEMETRIPANOS. That's for both Twitter and the Instagrams. You want to hit me up? I would love your support and I'd love to talk movies with you. Thanks again for tuning in. Take care. Bye.